Remember when Prince Andrew went on TV and said he'd never spoken to Jeffrey Epstein after 2010?
But you were staying at the house of
Yes.
a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
Yeah, turns out that was just about as believable as his "I can't sweat" excuse. New leaks show the disgraced Duke was actually feeding Epstein business tips as late as 2015, 5 years longer than he admitted. So let's break down what's in these new documents and why Andrew's claims don't hold up, and how his entire relationship with Epstein was much murkier and more useful to Jeffrey than the prince would like us to believe. The last meeting that wasn't. Prince Andrew's version of events has always gone like this. He first met Epstein in 1999 through Ghislaine Maxwell. After Epstein's 2008 conviction for procuring a minor for prostitution, Andrew says he cut off contact. Then in December 2010, he went to New York with the sole purpose of telling Epstein their friendship was over. That's when these now notorious photos were taken of the pair strolling around in Central Park. That meeting already raised eyebrows. Why end a friendship by staying several days at the guy's house? What are you, a despo ex? He's like, Epstein, I left a hair tie at yours. I really need to come get it. And also to break up with you properly, I swear. But Andrew doubled down in Newsnight, saying,
Was that visit, December of 2010, the only time you saw him after he was convicted?
Yes.
Did you see him or speak to him again?
No, that was that. Funny
Never
enough,
since
2010 was it. That was it.
But court documents and leaked emails show otherwise. Keep in close touch and we'll play some more. In February 2011, just 2 months after the Central Park breakup stroll, Epstein received a chummy email from a member of the British royal family believed to be Prince Andrew. Keep in close touch and we'll play some more soon. That doesn't sound like a dramatic breakup to me. That sounds like golf buddies making plans. And it didn't stop there. By December 2015, 5 years after Andrew swore he had never talked to Epstein again,
Never happened.
Epstein was telling his friend, former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, about a new business opportunity in Beijing. Epstein claimed his source was none other than Prince Andrew. I don't want to read this quote, so here it is on screen. When Barak asked how he knew, Epstein replied, Andrew. Barak said, the prince? Epstein, yes. So not only was Andrew still talking to Epstein, he was actively giving him inside info about Chinese business deals, while simultaneously serving as a trade envoy and welcoming President Xi Jinping to the UK. Awkward. Why this matters? The timing is brutal for Prince Andrew. By 2015, Epstein was already a registered sex offender. Virginia had publicly accused both Epstein and Andrew of sexually abusing her when she was 17 years old. New lawsuits from other accusers were rolling in. Yet Andrew apparently saw no problem tipping Epstein off about business leads. This makes his Newsnight denials even shakier and makes his honorable explanation for staying at Epstein's house in 2010 look downright laughable. Epstein's useful idiot. The historian Andrew Lowney just published a damning biography of Andrew, and his assessment of the Epstein relationship is absolutely scathing. He wrote that it was easy to see how Epstein played Andrew. He added, the prince was a useful idiot who gave him respectability and access to political leaders and business opportunities. In other words, Andrew was never just some casual friend in Epstein's orbit. He was a prize, a royal trophy who made Epstein look legitimate to world leaders, billionaires, and shady operators alike. Even Epstein himself seemed to brag about their similarities. According to Lowney's book, in 2007, Epstein allegedly said of Andrew, "We are very similar. We are both serial sex addicts. We have shared the same women. From the reports I've got back from them, he's the most perverted animal in the bedroom. He likes to engage in stuff that's even kinky to me. And I'm the king of kink." Jesus fucking Christ. If true, that is horrifying, and it shows just how entwined Andrew's reputation was with Epstein's sordid, yucky little world, the web of allegations. By now, the accusations against Andrew are very well known. Virginia alleged she was forced to have sex with him in London, New York, and on Epstein's private island when she was only 17 years old. Former Epstein staff testified that Andrew stayed weeks at Epstein's Florida mansion, receiving daily massages. Another accuser, Joanna, claimed Andrew groped her at Epstein's Manhattan townhouse while a puppet of the prince was propped on Virginia's lap. These guys are so weird. It's weird. Andrew has denied all wrongdoing.
Never happened.
In 2022, he quietly paid Virginia a reported 12 to 16 million pound settlement without admitting liability. But every new revelation, whether it's a leaked email, hacked inboxes, or court files, chips away at his denials. Which brings us to a bit of a hot Evie personal take. You might be wondering why I've got so into this Epstein stuff. And the answer is this. There are victims whose entire lives were destroyed by these depraved people, but because they're presidents, billionaires, and royals, many of these victims still don't have justice. These creeps are still running around. One of them is the President of the United States. And that simply pisses me off. Ferguson and the inner circle. Adding to the drama, Ghislaine Maxwell recently claimed she wasn't the one who introduced Andrew to Epstein, that it was actually Andrew's ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, who pushed the friendship. Ferguson herself admitted back in 2011 that she accepted £15,000 from Epstein to cover debts. This is what makes the story so messy. It wasn't just Andrew. Epstein was weaving himself into the York family, dangling money, influence, connections, whatever. Andrew just happened to be the most useful pawn, and maybe just kind of stupid. Sorry, I said it. He seems a bit dumb. Oh, my bad. Sorry. The consequences. The fallout from the Epstein scandal has left Andrew essentially exiled from royal life. He's in his unemployment era. He's been stripped of his military titles and royal patronages. He doesn't carry out public duties. He rarely appears at family events. Good. Who would want that guy at the family barbecue? The bigger picture. At the heart of all this isn't just Andrew's personal disgrace, it's the way Epstein used powerful men to shield himself. Prince Andrew was one of his most glittering shields, and according to Andrew Lowney, he was exactly the kind of person Epstein thrived on. Vain, entitled, and blind to the consequences. I mean, this dude's a royal. He probably never had consequences, not one time in his life, really. For years, Andrew's friendship with Epstein gave the financier a royal seal of approval he could flaunt at parties, in business meetings, and even with politicians. And that's what made Prince Andrew so useful. And that's why these fresh leaks matter. Not just because Andrew lied, but because they reveal how power and privilege allowed Epstein to operate unchecked. If you think our ruling class deserve a little bit more accountability and also just have mean things said about them more, then you should totally subscribe, because we do 5 videos a week on that exact thing. If you found this video interesting, check out my other Epstein videos. I recently unpacked his French connection, as well as one of his co-conspirators there, Jean-Luc Brunel, who also died mysteriously in prison. So get into that. Bye. Oh, it's good to be back.